Interviews to me are like war.
Are you honest?
Yes, I am, very.
I think you're trying to shock people.
I don't give a shit what you think. I know what I think, and that's all that counts to me.
Hello and welcome. John Lydon, frontman for Public Image Limited, and best known as Johnny Rotten of the short-lived but acrimonious Rock Act, pasted together by King's Road shop owner Malcolm McLaren. The Sex Pistols were a group of misfits, and no one more out of place than the intense John Lydon. John would make waves immediately with McLaren, bandmates, and of course the world at large. It's been almost 50 years since we were all introduced to Mr. Lydon, and by all accounts, what you see is what you get. Over the years, Lydon has had an uneasy relationship with the media and has been very vocal about multiple subjects, be it politics or pop music.
That ain't the Donna Summers I know. I hate it. It's awful.
Where do you think she's changed?
It was mediocre. Full stop.
But if it's not the Donna Summer that you knew,
I mean,
in what
come on,
ways
don't deserve no more comment than that.
He's been out in front of it all, calling it like he sees it. Starting with the Bill Grundy interview, where nothing but a bad word introduced his strange visage to the TV viewers and middle-class pearl clutchers.
Oh, yes, they really turn us on.
What do they do?
Well, suppose they turn other people on.
That's just their tough flicked.
Which one?
Nothing, a rude word. Next question.
No. What was the rude word?
Shit.
Was it really?
Next, Lydon would speak about Jimmy Savile and his predilections, which, according to John, would have him banned from the BBC for a spell.
On film, I'd like to kill Jimmy Savile. I think he's a hypocrite. I bet he's into all kinds of seediness that we all know about but are not allowed to talk about. I know some rumours.
Yeah, people always tell you things, don't they?
Ain't I a bitch, eh, don't you think?
On occasion.
I bet none of this will be allowed out.
Lydon always hated most pop music. To him, it represented the worst humanity had to offer. No thought or originality, bland at best. Never really going after the powers that be or saying anything of any meaning.
Going the Bunnyman with lips like sugar. Johnny, so is this Eck and the Bunnyman like big faves of yours?
Not really. I mean, it's better than most of the rubbish you tend to show on this programme. Normally I wouldn't listen to it. It's patronising, rubbish. Blech.
Alan?
Well, actually, I was surprised that Johnny, very early in the Sex Pistols' career, he delivered the same kind of thing.
Yes, 4 years ago. Big
Yes,
difference.
that's fine. Four years ago, that's fine, John. And I'm quite sure that you're very proud of what you did 4 years ago. And I'm sure that these boys are equally as proud as what they've done here in 1979. I think one of the great
like to be
pities on this
patronised, and that's what that record reeks
Shut
of.
up, will you?
No, I won't.
I think one of the great pities on this particular record
It's rubbish, full
in
stop.
Jukebox
Rubbish. Miss.
To John, the media seemed lockstep in line with the status quo, touting the pop music makers as something to be impressed by.
Rise and shine. You simply mix it with water.
All that lovely vitamin C. Not that you look as if you need too many vitamins.
Rise and shine.
Ah, rise and shine. In my country, we say scowl.
Back in the day, the media was all about neatly packaging the world into a sterile condition where chance and surprise and even individuality had no place. Strange that they would stick a microphone in front of Johnny Rotten. But it does make sense in some way. He would bring controversy, so they'd put him on a short leash. And of course, he'd get frustrated and sometimes jettison the whole interview.
Sounds like we've heard this story before.
Really? Would you like to tell me where? Good night.
Good night.
Want to continue?
Well, that's up to you entirely. Do you all follow the leader?
Just shut up and let me finish a f***ing sentence. I'm fed up with it.
As soon as it happened, I was like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Now, joining me are Mr. John Lydon, who used to be known as Johnny Rotten, and Mr. Keith Levine, and they are both associated now in something which is called Public Image Limited. Is it limited or unlimited?
It's limited.
Limited. What is that? Is it a band? Is it a public relations firm? What does it do and what is it?
We ain't no band. We're a company. Simple. Nothing to do with rock and roll. Doodah.
Doodah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a company, not a band. Simple. What kind of a company is it? What does it do?
It's
Just
a
about
communications company.
Huh?
It's a communications company.
To facilitate communications, how?
Videos, movies, soundtracks for films, we hope soon. Sometimes we perform live gigs. That depends on how we feel. Just about anything that's available.
When you perform a live gig, do you bring musical instruments to it?
Yes.
So far.
Well, but you said it's not a band.
It's a company.
Company. Would you rather
Companies
not?
can mess about with musical instruments.
Okay.
There's no limits.
Would you rather not talk about the company? Kind of a company it is, and you've said it's a company that deals in communications.
Well, it's simple, right? We'll do anything that we're offered if it's worthwhile. So, like, at the moment, me and Keith want to dabble with film soundtracks.
Dabble with film soundtracks. What does that mean? I don't know.
Don't talk to them. It's MTVE.
How would you like a nice smack in the head? Not very much. Well, then shut your mouth and get out of my way with that thing.
Thanks for watching. I've included a short montage of John Lydon interviews immediately following this message. Stick around.
The regular rock and roll format, verse, chorus, and I just couldn't write things like that.
It worked for the time, though, didn't it?
It worked, yeah, for a bit. And then Malcolm, began to take it all just too serious.
Everyone thinks of you as well as being the musical force behind the Sex Pistols.
I had nothing to do with the music of that band. I just wrote the words.
You never wanted to write any of the music?
No. Not the way they were doing it. My ideas were totally different.
Another school of thought?
Well, I mean, it was a chance for me, right? So I took it. Because I quite like the way I write.
Was it a laugh at the beginning?
I just had to set off a duff old Chuck Berry reruns, but that's... I don't know, it got me a foot in the door, so I took it.
Was it a laugh at the beginning? Did you think it'd amount to anything?
I never thought it would get anywhere, never in a million years. It was all right. I mean, I like New York. It's easy to get on there. You can lead the life you want without anyone interfering with you. Very unlike England.
What kind of a place do you live in over there?
A huge loft with a stage. It's just a giggle.
Is it expensive?
We live in a commercial zone.
Do you live on your own, or do you live with friends then?
Well, with Martin out of the band.
And that since when? Because he disappeared for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he's got his own projects as well, his own group.
Oh, you went to New York with a whole load of plans, and then there wasn't an awful lot heard of you for a while. What happened when you first got there?
We got bored when we decided to do nothing, so I went off and did a movie instead. And now I'm back.
All right, let's talk about the film. I saw the film, Cop Killer it was called, with Harvey Keitel. How did the offer come to do that film?
The Italians came to New York and they were looking for someone that they thought could do it, and the script was thrown in my lap by someone at Warner's, and I thought, whoa, this is for me.
Welcome to Finland now. How does it feel to be here at last?
At last?
Yeah, how did it feel when last time you were supposed to play here you were not allowed to do it?
Oh, God, that was ages ago. I don't know, I mean, it's just like anywhere else, isn't it? Awful, and it rains. Might as well be England.
And now 12 years after Sex Pistols was formed, you record and tour with your band Public
12
Image.
years?
Yeah, it's been that
God,
long.
I'm an old man.
Yeah. What would you say are the main differences between these two bands, the Sex Pistols and the Public Image Limited?
We're better.
Yes,
like a fine wine, I have improved with age.
There hasn't been anything like the punk movement, anything as revolutionary.
Wasn't a movement. There was just the Sex Pistols. Everybody else didn't count.
But anyway, there hasn't been anything as revolutionary as punk in the 80s. Do you think something unexpected will...
There has been something as revolutionary as the Sex Pistols, the ongoing force of me. And this you must never forget. I am as relevant now as I was then. In fact, more so. You need me. I don't need you.
It's a piece of work.
Not really, John.
Of course it is.
8 songs on an
We
album?
did this for you, the public.
There's only 8 songs, though. It doesn't last a long time, does it?
Well, look, we believe in quality, not quantity.
True. And I must admit that when I was listening to this last night and having a few drinks, I liked it a lot. That's better than it's quite good, isn't it?
Oh, all right. Well, yes. Well, I think we can tolerate you for a couple more minutes.
OK, then. Well, I better get on with it. A couple more minutes. What am I going to ask now? You've just been on tour.
Yeah.
You went to Scandinavia.
On and off. A few gigs here, then we stopped, and a few gigs there.
Mm.
But we will be going out full-time very, very shortly.
Yeah. We have to mention Brazil at this point, yeah.
Do you?
Brazil, yes. We went to Brazil.
You went to Brazil?
Yes, best place in the world.
Is it?
Absolutely. The audiences are brilliant.
Very naughty government.
Very open.
Very naughty government.
Corruption?
Very
Yes,
naughty government.
They ignore that.
And why are the audiences better than anywhere else? What makes them better?
Because they come to a concert with a sense of fun.
Mm.
To listen.
What do people come to your concerts in London, then, with a sense of what?
Well, I mean, of course, there's a lot that wants to have a good time, but there is a small element that just want to be disruptive for the sake of it. And I think it's a throwback to this, what the Daily Mirror and the Sun taught you was punk, and which is completely inaccurate. Spitting is a vile and loathsome form of art, and one I don't tolerate.
No, especially not when you're singing.
And I'm very, very bored with this punk cliché image of the torn studded leather jacket, the mohawk. All of these things are uniforms, and I've always been against uniformity. I am completely for the individual, always will be.
Games with hula hoops. Fun to eat and play with hula hoops. Hula hoops, hula hoops. Can't be hula hoops. It's crunchy when you're munching. You come out on top with hula hoops. Great potato rings, they're hula hoops. Hula hoops, hula hoops.